Polls issue not raised in Sheikh Hasina Biden meeting, says Foreign Minister. Khaleda Zia can seek presidential clemency, says Law Minister. 3 US scientists win Nobel in chemistry. Those were the headlines. This is ATN News. Good evening, viewers. I'm Nafisa Nawal with English Bulletin. Meanwhile, Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Momin has differed with the remark of White House spokesperson. At a briefing in the Foreign Office on Wednesday afternoon, the Foreign Minister said there had been no talks between US President Joe Biden and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina over polls in Bangladesh. The Prime Minister, however, told Biden 17 crore people of Bangladesh are her family. Earlier, White House claimed at a briefing President Joe Biden talked about polls issue of Bangladesh in the G20 summit held in India. Spokesperson of White House John Kirby made the disclosure in reply to question of the journalists at the press conference in White House on Tuesday when asked how he sees Bangladesh and US relationship and whether two leaders have discussed over next polls in Bangladesh and Rohingya issue. John Kirby said both the leaders have talked about the importance of free and fair polls in Bangladesh. Both of them put emphasis on strengthening ties between Bangladesh and US. Besides, Biden and Sheikh Hasina also talked about Rohingya and climate changes issues, Kirby added. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has returned home, wrapping up 16-day official tour in US and UK. The plane carrying the Prime Minister and her entourage landed at Hajrat Shah Jalal International Airport at noon. Minister for Liberation War Affairs AKM Mojammil Haq and Awami League General Secretary and Minister for Bridges Obaidul Qadir welcomed the Prime Minister at the airport. The Prime Minister left Heathrow Airport on a commercial flight of Biman Bangladesh Airlines in London time 9:10 p.m. on Tuesday. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina reached London of UK on September 30th after attending 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly. During her stay in the United Kingdom, she had meeting with British ministers and lawmakers. She also attended a reception accorded to her by Bangladeshi community. Now, politics is involved regarding not granting permission to BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia for treatment abroad. Law Minister Anisul Haq made the remark at an emergency press conference on important issues at the Secretariat on Wednesday. He said if any convicted person can seek presidential clemency by submitting a mercy petition. Law Minister at time termed the information placed by Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir on Tuesday's press conference as false, baseless and misleading. He said the leader of the opposition, the incumbent Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, went abroad for treatment on a bail in 2008 without any condition. Dhaka South City Corporation's Mayor Fazle Noor Taposh and Law Secretary Muhammad Ghulam Sarwar also attended the press conference. The election becomes participatory one if the turnout of the voters is huge. Chief Election Commissioner Qazi Habibul Awal made the remark at a workshop on the role of candidates and polling agents at the election office in capital's Agargaon on Wednesday. The CEC said if massive arrests take place before the polls, it make the polls questionable. He said he will tell the government to make the arrests 6 months before the polls or after the polls. Bangladesh is hopeful of getting the second installment of loan from International Monetary Fund, even if some conditions for the loan are yet to be fulfilled. Bangladesh made the disclosure following a meeting with IMF delegation on Wednesday. The spokesperson of the central bank, Ms. Baul Haq, told the journalists several conditions, including lifting loan interest rate limit, reform in the currency exchange sector and maintaining international rules for reserves, have already been fulfilled. IMF granted a loan proposal of $470 crore for Bangladesh in January this year. Bangladesh has already received $47 crore given as the first installment of the loan. $70 crore is likely to be given in the second installment in November. The IMF delegation is now on a tour to Bangladesh to evaluate how much the country has been able to fulfill the terms set by the organization. 3 U.S. scientists, Mongi Bawendi, Louis Bruce and Alexei Ekimov, have won the 2023 Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the discovery and synthesis of quantum dots, which illuminate computer monitors and television screens and are used by doctors to map tumors. The Nobel laureates have succeeded in producing particles so small that their properties are determined by quantum phenomena. The particles, which are called quantum dots, are now of great importance in nanotechnology, the Nobel Committee for Chemistry said in a statement on Wednesday. Bawendi of MIT, Bruce of Columbia University and Ekimov of Nanocrystals Technology were honored for their work with the particles just a few atoms in diameter, according to the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences, which announced the award in Stockholm. Nanoparticles and quantum dots are used in LED lights and can also be used to guide surgeons while removing cancer tissue. Now a short break. We will be back soon with U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy ousted. Junior Tigers move to semis of Asian Games. You're watching ATN News. This is English Bulletin. Verdict against former Managing Director of Global Islami Bank Limited PK Haldar and 13 others will be pronounced next Sunday. The case was filed by Anti-Corruption Commission on allegation of amassing illegal wealth and money laundering. This will be first ever verdict of the 40 cases filed against PK Haldar. Judge of the Special Judge Court 10, Muhammad Nazrul Islam, fixed a date for pronouncement of the verdict on completion of arguments in the case. The ACC made an appeal to the court to give maximum punishment of 22-year imprisonment to PK Haldar and other accused persons of the case. The court indicted PK Haldar and 13 others in the case on September 8. 10 accused, including PK Haldar, are now at large. Only 4 accused are now in the jail. Now news from around the world. A handful of Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives on Tuesday ousted Republican Speaker Kevin McCarthy as party inviting plunged Congress into further chaos just days after it narrowly averted a government shutdown. The 216 to 210 vote marked the first time in history that the House removed its leader, with 8 Republicans voting with 208 Democrats to remove McCarthy. McCarthy told reporters he would not make another run for Speaker. "I fought for what I believe in. McCarthy said, "I believe I can continue to fight, but maybe in a different manner." The House looked set to go leaderless for at least a week as multiple Republicans said they planned to meet on October 10 to discuss possible McCarthy successors, with a vote on a new speaker planned for October 11. At least 21 people, including 4 children, died after a bus fell off a flyover and caught fire near Venice, Italy. Another 18 people have been injured. The mishap occurred near railway tracks in Venice Maestre district about 7:45 p.m. local time on Tuesday. The bus was carrying 40 passengers from France and Croatia, Italy back to campsite. The mishap occurred when the bus broke through a barrier of the flyover connecting Venice and plunged more than 33 feet near railway tracks. Some reports said the bus was powered by methane gas and fell onto power lines and caught fire. Venice City Councillor Renato Borasso said it's an appalling tragedy and that toll could rise as several of those hurt in crash were in critical condition in hospital. Veneto Region Governor Luca Zaia said cause of the accident is still unclear. Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni expressed condolences, saying government's thoughts are with victims and their families' friends. 23 soldiers have gone missing due to flash flood in northeastern Sikkim state of India. The capital Gangtok city's road communication has remained snapped due to the flash flood, defense officials said. Rain lashed through valley about 150 kilometers north of Gangtok, located along the border with China. Army said in a statement on Wednesday, due to sudden cloud burst over Lonak Lake in North Sikkim, a flash flood occurred in the Tista River. 23 persons have been reported missing and search operations are underway. The water released from upstream from the Chungthang Dam meant the river water suddenly rose by more than 15 feet from than usual. A defense spokesperson said some army establishments along the valley have been affected and rising water submerged some vehicles. India's weather department has warned of landslides and disruption to flights as heavy rain is predicted in some parts of Sikkim. USA has imposed sanctions on 25 Chinese institutions and individuals for their alleged involvement in producing and distributing fentanyl, a chemical used to make anesthetic drugs. Fentanyl is widely used as a pain reliever and anesthetic amid the ongoing drug crisis in USA. USA Attorney General Merrick Garland said the supply chains of these specialty drugs routinely trade with Chinese chemical companies. The Chinese embassy in Washington did not immediately comment on the matter. US has alleged that Mexican drug cartels supply fentanyl to US users. Last April, a spokesperson for the Chinese Foreign Ministry said that illegal drugs such as fentanyl had never been smuggled between China and Mexico. Now, sports news. Bangladesh has reached the semi-finals of the Asian Games T20 cricket after defeating the weak Malaysia by 2 runs through breathtaking finish. Sheikh Hasina's team will face India in the semi-finals next Friday. Bangladesh won the toss and scored 116 runs for 5 wickets at Zhejiang University ground. Captain Sheikh Hasina and Afif Hussain pulled the beleaguered team from the catastrophe after losing 3 wickets for 3 runs. Although Afif was out after scoring 23 runs, Saif remained unbeaten with 50 with 1 4 and 3 6. Shahadat scored 21 and Zakir Ali scored 14 runs. However, Malaysia lost 3 wickets for 18 runs and was only 5 runs away in the last over to win. In a situation like this, Birandeep made 52 in 39 balls and Afif led to Bangladesh victory by dismissing Birandeep in last over. Malaysia had to stop scoring 114 runs for 8 wickets in their stipulated overs. Afif took 3 wickets for 11 runs. Before ending the bulletin, the top stories once again. Polls issue not raised in Sheikh Hasina Biden meeting, says Foreign Minister. Khadija can seek presidential clemency, says Law Minister. 3 US scientists win Nobel in chemistry. US House Speaker Kevin McCarthy ousted. Junior Tigers move to semis of Asian Games. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us.